It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Cause that's the bottom line. Cause Stone Cold said so.
And so, goodbye. Mwah. And good night. Bang!
Settle! Because I'm better than you, and you know it. Yes, sir!
Welcome to Off the Mats with Alex Lowe's and Josh Silverberg.
Of course, Mike.
Good afternoon, everybody. Little Mike and the Mad Dog there. I don't know if Alex got that one, but that's all right. How's everybody doing? Welcome to another edition of Off the Mat here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network every Saturday at 12 o'clock, although we are on a little late today. That's on my doing and my fault. I apologize for that, but that's okay. We still have time to do things. I am, of course, your host, Josh Silverberg. With me at this time, of course, my tag team partner, who I haven't seen in a while. I've been sporadic the last few weeks, but I'm here. We're good. I'm in my new house. It looks very bland and plain in here in my office. I actually have an office now, not in the kitchen anymore in my apartment.
Nope.
Alex Lowe's, what's happening, man?
Nothing much. It's been an amazing week for wrestling. We have so much to get through with so little time. We got New Japan, AEW, NXT this week in wrestling history, and Survivor Series, and I cannot wait to talk about that because there's a lot to go through with that. So stick with us the whole way through the show.
Absolutely. There is so much to get to. Survivor Series being tomorrow night, so we are going to preview that. It is supposedly The Undertaker's last show, although I never know. But we do, really quick, we do have a guest that is going to join us today at 12:35. He's a wrestling fan. We have Mr. Carl Glangis is going to join us, if I said his name correctly, from the Sports Hit List here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. Huge wrestling fan. I have been talking to him for months about getting him on the show. He is coming on with us at 12:35 to preview Survivor Series. Can't wait. And if you haven't checked out his show, you need to. The Sports Hit List is, I'm not afraid to say it, it is absolutely one of the best shows we have here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. It is. The work that Carl and his group does is phenomenal. It's great, so we're excited to have him on. Really quick, we gotta do some house cleaning. I know I've been away for a little bit, but I have not forget. If you have a smart speaker, you can tell your smart speaker to play the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. If you have an iPhone, type in WWSRN on the Apple Store. If you have an Android, on the Google Play Store, type in Worldwide Sports. If you have not checked out our brand new website, it is freaking awesome. Okay? Check it out. WorldwideSportsRadio.com. So you want to check that out. Download our app. Get our show schedule. The Ryan Hickey Show, the Sports Hit List, Wise Guys, ourselves Off the Mat, Below the Mic, Down to the Wire. Also, don't forget to check out every Saturday night at 7 o'clock. Check out the Weekend Crunch with Errol Marks and former NFL football player Eric Coleman, with myself, Josh Silverberg, chiming in at a few segments as well. So you want to check out all the shows that we have here. I think I did that pretty good, Alex.
Yeah, you really did. Got through that pretty quick.
I sped through that one pretty good today. All right, so we got to get to it because we already have to go to break in like 15 minutes, so we have to literally get what we need to get done, and that's get into our AEW NXT recap. Alex, what were your thoughts basically on everything with AEW this week? I mean, there was so much to get to, from Will Hobbs turning to the NWA Women's Championship being defended. There was just so many different points that you could get to.
Yeah, there was a lot of different points and different things happening in the show. And one of my favorite matches was Top Flight versus the Young Bucks. And I was highly impressed with Top Flight and how they started the matchup, controlling the pace. But the Young Bucks, they came in the middle of the match with high impact moves. And Top Flight is one of these tag teams known for high-flying movesets and taking to the skies and diving off the ropes, things like that. And the Young Bucks and this team went to work on each other, and it was absolutely incredible, and I enjoyed every minute of it. It was a great match.
I thought the whole thing was phenomenal. I think to look at themselves in the Young Bucks mirror. By the way, we didn't even go over the T-shirts today. I don't have my T-shirts behind me anymore. So Alex went with Bullet Club today. Alex, I think you're going to like the one that I have today.
Lucha Brothers, yep. Death Triangle.
Death Triangle. That's the MLW Tag Team Championships, the Major League Wrestling. So what's cool about this shirt is it's like they sparkle. Like the shirt sparkles. It's got I don't know, it's like glittery gold on it. I don't know. I'm gonna ask Carl what he thinks of it, because Carl has style. So I'm gonna ask him what he thinks of it as well. But I did like that match a lot. I thought it was really interesting how they really bring out these tag teams and giving them opportunities. Because when you look at it, Top Flight, they were saying, the Top Flight really reminds the Young Bucks of the Young Bucks when they were younger, and I felt that was interesting. And then to see at the end of the match to see Top Flight get attacked by what's the tag team?
Hybrids 2.
Yeah, Hybrids 2 attacked them. That would be an interesting match. So it looks like that could be something, whether that's on Dark or that's on a future AEW Dynamite show. I'm not sure. The other thing that was interesting was Jon Moxley getting attacked. And now people are speculating, when you look at the way Jon Moxley got attacked and the way his legs were, they think there was something to do with Hangman Adam Page attacking Jon Moxley. Personally, I think Hangman Adam Page is going to eventually join FTR and Shawn Spears. I think it seems pretty obvious at this point that is what is going to happen. Are you excited though for Kenny Omega, Jon Moxley too?
Oh yeah, I'm excited for this match because I believe it's going to be very, very close. It's going to be fast-paced. There's going to be a lot happening in this matchup. And Kenny Omega even said last week in his interview with Alex Marvez, he said, "Hey, people are wondering where the old Kenny Omega went. Like where did he go? Why did the New Japan Kenny Omega go away? He never really went away. He was just waiting for the opportune moment, and now this is his moment to really shine and show the world that he's one of the best top competitors in AEW."
I agree with you 100%. I think this is going to be a match that you're going to see where I think Omega wins the belt. I actually think it's primed to happen. That, or I could see Moxley retaining it and Adam Page getting involved and causing a stir. We'll see. I also thought the Thunder Rosa Serena Deeb match was phenomenal, but the problem is, and I've said this weeks upon weeks, Alex, I feel like AEW doesn't promote their own women's championship. They're promoting another tag teams. They're promoting another company's belt in NWA. They don't even promote their own belt. Now they're going to have Hikaru Shida defend the belt next week, but it's just like weeks upon weeks you're seeing Serena Deeb and Thunder Rosa defend the belt. And the problem is too is at what was the last preview called? At Full Gear, the pre-show match, Serena Deeb and Allison Kay was phenomenal. It was a great match. And the women's match between Nyla Rose and Hikaru Shida, and I said this on Twitter, was one of the absolute worst wrestling matches in women's history I ever saw in my life. I'm actually not even being sarcastic. It was literally one of the worst women's matches I ever saw in my life. There was no build-up. I am not a Nyla Rose fan. She doesn't fit, with certain styles of these wrestlers. Picking Vicky Guerrero as her matcher was a terrible decision. They're not doing enough for their women's division. I think the NWA division is getting more bang than AEW is, and I think that's hurting AEW's women's division a lot.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And the question is that everybody's been wondering about since she got released from WWE. Trying to remember the name. She was with Zelina
Vega?
Yeah, Zelina Vega. She might go to AEW or one of these companies if she decides to keep on wrestling. Hopefully that's the case. I would love to see her in AEW.
No, of course, absolutely. And that would be that would be a key thing, right?
Yeah, that would be
you
the
know,
key thing to have to up the ante for AEW in their women's division.
But then again, we've said that numerous times, Alex. When Deonna Purrazzo was available, they made an excuse as to why they didn't sign her, and it was a terrible decision. She's a superstar right now in Impact. I think that's one they missed the boat on. They need to sign Thunder Rosa. They have to. If they don't, they're stupid. But like I said, I thought the show was good. I liked how AEW did things. I thought Will Hobbs turning on Cody and Darby was interesting. I don't know if I see Hobbs as a heel, but we'll see. I do like Taz's team, though. A lot, actually. I think, But then, of course, to see Pac back.
Yeah, to have Pac back, his match with...
was awesome.
Yeah, his match with the Blade was great. It was amazing to see him back in the squared circle after a couple months. 8 months away.
8 months he was away. And to see Death Triangle have finally get their due, I think was the right call. I think Kingston, Butcher, and Blade are going to go against Death Triangle. And I love Death Triangle, like I said. I think it's really something that when you look at, that's a group that's going to thrive. But we'll see. Like I said, there's so many teams. And like I said, they're going the New Japan route, where you're having the factions. Like you had the Inner Circle do the Take Vegas, which I thought was somewhat funny. Some of it was
that was. I loved how they did that angle with them in Vegas. It was really well done, and it had a lot of funny, silly moments to it, and that's what made this week's AEW interesting.
I agree, and I think AEW really hit it out of the park this week. I thought it was a very good show. And as far as NXT goes, look, I thought NXT had the better ending. You got to, first off, when you get to hear William Regal, see, you remember when Teddy Long used to say, "1-on-1 with the Undertaker"? Remember that? Everybody used to go crazy. It was so funny. But now you hear William Regal go, "War Games!" And everybody just goes crazy. It's becoming one of those slogans now of, that's what you're ready for. And now you're going to have the brand of Pat McAfee, Pete Dunne, Danny Burch, and Oney Larkin, the NXT Tag Team Champions, go up against the Undisputed Era, Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly, and Roderick Strong. And then you're also going to have another War Games match of Candice LeRae's team against Shotzi Blackheart's team. I know you're a big Shotzi fan, Alex. I think, and then to see Finn Balor back, I'm kind of curious where they go with Finn Balor. You also had a new North American champion,
Leon Ruff, yeah.
Ruff, which is a great story. I think that's going to be like a triple threat match at War Games, which is on, I believe, the 6th. I want to say that's December 6th. I believe that's when it is. I just want to confirm that. December 6th. It's 60 degrees outside today. Wow, it's been what a beautiful day outside. Sorry, Alex, I got sidetracked there, but such a beautiful
I do want to get your thoughts on this, on Antonio Ruas, his debut against Kushida. What were your thoughts on that, Josh?
Loved it. I thought he did a great job, and I think the big thing, too, is they made him look good, but they're also making Kushida look better. This seems to be what they're trying to set Kushida up for, is maybe it's a North American Championship opportunity. Maybe it's an opportunity to face Finn Balor for the NXT Heavyweight Championship because their styles are so similar. It's about damn time that they gave Kushida some reins and winning some matches in NXT because it's been far too long. But I gotta tell you, really quick, Alex, Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley tore the house down.
Oh yeah, that match was insane. I loved every bit of that match. Just the way Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley were battling back and forth, and then Io Shirai powerbombing Rhea Ripley through the table was the key moment in the matchup, and that allowed Io Shirai to capitalize and take the victory. But they tore the house down, as you said, and they just delivered perfectly in that matchup, and it was fun to watch. And I props to both of these ladies for putting on a fantastic show.
I agree with you. Now, my question to you, Alex, I know, like I said, you're a big Shotzi fan. Do you like the idea of Candice and Shotzi's teams going at it in War Games?
I feel like they don't really need Candice for it, but because I just feel like they they kind of keep adding Candice LeRae too much into these matches. I feel like they could give her a little small break and turn her towards another angle for a little bit and then have her jump back in. Because I want to see more of Candice LeRae in singles competition and what she's able to do.
Well, clearly they have what her team is set up for, right? It's going to be Candice LeRae. Who's the one that helped her?
Indy Hartwell.
Indy Hartwell, Raquel Gonzalez, and
Dakota Kai.
That's clearly going to be what Candice's team is. Now, what's Shotzi's team? I have no idea who she's going to put or pick. I'm kind of curious. I don't think Io is going to be one of them.
I feel like it could be Ember Moon, Toni Storm, one of those two.
I think both of them could join, and then what I'm thinking is I don't know who the last one could be. Who knows?
Casey Catanzaro.
She doesn't do it for me. I don't know. She just doesn't, push the needle, as they say, right? I don't think she really does it for me, because she has no personality. That's really what it comes down to. But I'm just happy to see Finn Balor back, man.
Yeah, it's great. It was great to see Finn Balor back on the show and being able to return to NXT. And I'm wondering if they're going to put him in a match at War Games, if he's going to be medically cleared to compete.
No, I think he's going to defend the belt. I don't know against who yet. I'm kind of curious, but we'll see. But look, and I hate that War Games is on a Sunday. Can they just stick to NXT pay-per-views being on a Saturday? So annoying that they do that.
I do have a quick update, and I posted this on my Instagram earlier. Brody Lee is injured, an ankle leg injury, so I don't know when he's going to be back, but hopefully soon. Hopefully it's not a long outed injury.
So that explains why he's been out for a while then.
Yeah, that's why he hasn't been seen on AEW TV for a little bit.
Okay. So that makes sense. But I know Hikaru Shida is going to be defending the belt against Anna Jay next week on Dynamite, which is wonky because Shida never defends the belt on Dynamite because the belt is never talked about on Dynamite. So I think that's just, to me, one of the most ridiculous things is if you're going to constantly promote another company's belt over your own belt, I find that to be a problem.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like you need to. It's your division. It's your own company's division, and I feel like you need to show more of that. You need to really give the AEW women's division a chance to build up, and lately AEW hasn't been doing that.
Exactly. Now, my last question before we go to break, Alex. What I want to ask you is, what show did you like more this week, and why? Because when we come back, we're going to have Carl from the Sports Hit List come on with us for Survivor Series. So what did you like? Which show did you like more this week? And also, I want to get Carl's thoughts on some of these shows as well. I want to be able to ask you because he's a huge wrestling fan.
So I would say AEW was the better show this week because we saw the heel turn of Will Hobbs, which was very shocking. And we saw him pick up the belt, and I felt like that really showed that he wants to be a part of Team Taz, and he made it known when he hit Cody in the face with the belt.
See, I thought he was going to take the belt and look at it and challenge Cage for it. That's what I thought was originally going to happen. Then he hit Cody with the belt, and then Darby's down, and it's just madness and chaos ensued, and everything like that. So, to me, AEW was, in my opinion, more of an entertaining show. But I liked NXT more this week, if that makes sense to you. I liked the women's match between Io and Rhea.
Yeah, I could see why.
The ending was great.
Yeah, the ending with them leaving a cliffhanger with the brawl between Undisputed Era and Pat McAfee's team, that was great. I love how they did that. And I believe it's going to add to some mayhem next week for NXT on Wednesday.
I agree. I thought it was something that was really, in my eyes, in my opinion, something that we look back and we say this is how you build up stories. All right, guys, when we come back, we have Carl from the Sports Hit List joining us. He is going to talk Survivor Series with us. We want to get questions with him on how he thinks the wrestling industry has been as well, because it's a very rare opportunity. We get somebody that's very as knowledgeable as he is in wrestling. and we want to be able to dive into his brain and his thoughts. So we're going to preview Survivor Series. Is this really the Undertaker's last showing? And what are our thoughts and what our favorite matches are leading up to it for tomorrow night's Raw vs. SmackDown? Of course, we'll do a little New Japan, get an update on that, and of course, our finishing move. And Alex, are we doing This Week in Wrestling?
Yeah, we're going to do This Week in Wrestling History next.
Awesome. All right, so when we come back, we're going to do This Week in Wrestling, and we got our finishing moves. Don't go anywhere. This is Off the Mat on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Everybody's got a price. Rest in peace.
Welcome back to Off the Mat with Alex Lowe's and Josh Silverberg.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Off the Mat, and This Week in Wrestling History is the ECW Philadelphia show from November 1998, and the attendance was 1,400. The first match was Spike Dudley defeating Mr. Hughes in 5 minutes. The second match was Chris Chetti, Supernova, and the Blue Meanie defeating Danny Doring, Roadkill, and Scovon Crush. Number 3 was Rob Van Dam defeating Rod Price for the ECW World Television title. Number 4 was Little Guido defeating Mike Lozanski. Number 5 was Lance Storm defeating Jerry Lynn. Number 6 was Mikey Whipwreck defeating Lance Storm. Number 7 is Bubba Ray Dudley, Devon Dudley, and Just Incredible defeating Balls Mahoney, Matsuo Tanaka, and Tommy Dreamer. Number 8 is Rob Van Dam and Sabu in a tag team match defeating Shane Douglas and Taz. So there's a lot of big names in here, including Taz, who is now a manager for AEW.
Old-timer names, Alex. Those are that's when I was what you say was 1996?
Yeah, that was 98.
98. ECW was on the map at that point, and once 2000, that's when they got taken over. You had Shane Douglas, the franchise, so that was a very good card. I would have been entertained by it. ECW was, in my eyes, not wrestling, just violence. Backyard wrestling violence.
Yeah. Sorry about the echo there for a little bit. I just fixed that.
Oh, no, that's all right. So listen, hold on 1 second. So there we go. Do you hear me now? All right. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a guy I've been trying to get on this show, and I've been going back and forth with Alex. When should we get him on? He knows his stuff. He's so artistic. His show is amazing. He knows wrestling. He's a grown-ass man with a championship belt. I said, we got to get this man on. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Carl Goulash from the Sports Hit List. What's happening, man?
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for having me. It's truly an honor and pleasure to share this platform with you guys. Kudos to what you guys do on your show. It's amazing. I definitely tune in to listen to your wrestling talk. So, again, thank you so much. I'm really honored to be here.
Hey, Josh, just real quick. When you talk, mute your mic and then put it back on so there's no echo.
All right, so I'll mute my mic when I talk, and then when Carl talks and when you guys talk, I'll unmute it for sure. So sorry about that. So, all right, we got to get into it first, Carl.
What's up?
And we got to understand. First off, are you wearing Seth Rollins' shirt?
I am. That's one big thing. I'm a disciple of Seth Rollins. I'm a big T-shirt collector too. So every week I try to challenge myself. I go on the site just to try to pick up a new shirt, and I'm always collecting T-shirts. So during this pandemic, I don't know how many shirts I purchased, but this is one of my favorite ones. I figured I'd wear it on today.
Oh, cool. All right, so pretty much the first question I want to get to. Well, hold on. Now my question is, Alex, how many shirts did I say I had in my collection?
You have a lot in your collection. There's like there's a lot in there, man.
Am I supposed to? I can't hear him. Am I supposed to hear him or?
Oh yeah, Alex, Carl can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my mic camera on. There we go.
Oh, there we go. All right, he's got. You hear him now?
Yeah, I can hear him now.
Yeah, now I can hear him. Yeah.
There might be a little echoing every now and then, but I mean,
that's cool.
Yeah, every now and then it's gonna have some echo because that's just how this thing works.
This is how this thing works. It feels like we're in an arena, right? All right, so we're going to get into it, man. Do you firmly believe this is The Undertaker's last spot in wrestling, or are we just going to be like, listen, because they are promoting the crap out of it on the network, but they're doing all these specials.
Listen. I think with a lot of things in pro wrestling and in sports in general, us fans have been robbed. It's unfortunate the situation we've been in, dealing with COVID, and I hope everyone is staying safe out there and practicing social distancing, wearing their masks. But I think as wrestling fans, out of all the sports, it's like, they need the crowd. So this is his farewell on, COVID farewell. But I truly believe in my heart of hearts, when we get fans back at maximum capacity, Vince will work something out to get him his pop, to get him his send off the way he should be sent off as a fan. I live for the moment where you're at a live event and you hear the Undertaker chants. That's what wrestling is about.
That's what wrestling is really all about there.
So I can't imagine like not walking into Barclays Center or Madison Square Garden or in Uniondale that they're building and not hear those Undertaker chants. So yes, this may be his farewell for now, but whenever we get back to normal and we're not under COVID restrictions, he'll pop up and he'll get he should.
Now my other thing too is when you look at how they're doing this whole thing. Also, I got to check this out on the WWE Network last night, and it was the thing about Paul Bearer. If you haven't seen it, I don't know what it is. WWE always seems to kick ass when it comes to their documentaries. They do, but yet when it comes to their main shows, it's kind of wonky how they do certain things. I don't know, because like you see it last night, Carl, and Alex, if you saw it on SmackDown 2 yesterday, why is Otis the final team member for SmackDown and not a Big E or a Daniel Bryan? Why are they constantly going back to this guy over and over and over again when you have guys on this roster that are now not even going to be competing on this card tomorrow? Instead, they go to Otis constantly. Like, why do they keep going back to him on everything?
Yeah, I don't know why they keep going back to Otis on everything. I feel like they should just mostly focus in on Team Raw versus Team SmackDown for a Survivor Series and give that a big push and really show how these two teams are building up this feud for this big Survivor Series moment.
I'm not sure. I didn't even realize. Like, I realized that Otis made the team, but I didn't like the inconsistency how Pierce just handed it to him. 4 of the other members were able to earn their spots. Why are you just giving away the last spot? Same thing for the women's side. Like, he just gave it to
Natalya.
I mean, yeah, right. Like, so you had qualifying matches, and WWE likes to do this a lot where it's like inconsistent. Like, all right, you have qualifying matches for 4 out of the 5, and then the last one you're just going to give it away. Like, what makes Otis earn it over somebody else? So I think I'd like to see a qualifying match. It could have went to Shorty G. It could have went to Big E. Big E's been doing promos, and he was supposed to get his big push. Why is he in that spot? So or even a chance to earn the spot to get in there. So it's just WWE being WWE and not making any logic and not making any sense. And us as fans, we're used to it at this point. It's like you scratch your head and you wonder why they do certain things, but it's like it goes back to the point of just it's WWE. Like they do stupid shit for no reason, and you're just like, it makes no sense.
Yeah, you're right.
He's right.
And my next thing is this, and I'm going to let Alex ask some stuff after, but I got to get your thoughts. So I've been you've seen our show. I'm a massive Drew McIntyre fan. I think he's taken the bull by the horns during this pandemic. Alex, I know you've agreed with me on this. He's a guy that has really stood out more than other wrestlers on the roster. Having him fight Roman Reigns, I have to ask you, 1, who do you think wins that match? And 2, how much do you want to bet there's not going to be a clean finish in this match? Whoever wants to answer it first. Carl, you want to go first?
You know what? I think listen, Drew's been he got a tremendous push. He's been doing great in-ring work. I think they're teasing, and we could kind of see it. I said this to one of my other because I'm in so many wrestling groups and I'm having conversations, and I love wrestling dialogue. That Sheamus is throwing me off a little bit. Like Sheamus is a little too buddy, and I'm concerned that Sheamus has it out for him, and now that he's champion, I could kind of see that being a feud where Sheamus is like he wants his championship opportunity from his best friend. So if you're going to see someone, interfere, it possibly could be Sheamus, it could be Orton, but I think Drew's been doing a great job, and I honestly don't see, like, coming off of, I've been high on Roman, so I don't know how Roman, after his promo, he goes into that match and he loses. He's running the show, he's the tribal chief, he's the head of the table.
Kept calling him number two, right?
He called him number two. I thought that promo was like, listen, I don't know if you guys saw, I shared it. I woke up this morning because I usually watch SmackDown on Saturday mornings, and I watched it, and I'm just like, this is what we've been wanting for the last 5 or 6 years in wrestling, and this is amazing. Like, I'm literally marking out watching Roman do his promo. So to answer your question, I think it's Roman's match to win. I don't see how, he's at the head of the table. How do you have the head of the table lose at a big pay-per-view like that?
Absolutely. Alex, what are your thoughts on the whole thing in regards to who's winning that match and if you see a clean finish?
I really do not see a clean finish. I agree with you guys on that. I feel like there's going to be a lot of hectic stuff going on in this match, but I feel Drew McIntyre, I mostly feel like Roman Reigns is the guy who's going to win this match, because they're pushing him. WWE's relying on him a lot, and they're pushing him and making him look good. And I feel like this is going to lead down to a WrestleMania match one day soon, hopefully against The Rock, because I saw a tweet from The Rock saying that he would like to wrestle Roman Reigns and go out on his back. So, hey, I think that would be a great move, for a great direction to go.
Yeah, you know what, to elaborate on that, I think, that's what everyone's wanting, because clearly Roman's the head of the table, but the true head of the table is The Rock. The true head of the, that family and the bloodline.
It makes too much sense.
Yeah, and
yeah.
I love that. And, I love that entire Samoan family, Samoan dynasty, all of them. Rikishi, Yokozuna, the Wild Samoans. I thought they could even make a stable with all of them. They should have made a stable with Nia Jax, Tamina, the Usos. Like, there's so much history in that family. I think it's amazing. But I think the only issue is, do you want to have a main event like that with no fans? No,
you don't. You don't want to do that with no fans.
So I think Vince is doing the best he can to. It's tough though, because we saw so many great storylines, but how much more can he hold out? I think this is his big moneymaker. If I'm Vince, but again, I'm only a fan. I'm not creative. I don't, But the best booking for this is your main event as soon as you get fans back.
Exactly.
So if it's going to be WrestleMania, not 2021, but 2022, when we're guaranteed to have a full capacity crowd, Rock versus Roman is that's it. For the head of the table. That's how I would book it.
And I'm glad you brought that really quick, and I know Alex has things he wants to ask. And I'm glad you went to that segue, Carl, because I wanted to get your take on this, and I know Alex's take on this we've talked about, but Carl, your opinion on it. When you watch AEW and you see FTR versus the Young Bucks, right? That's the dream match. That's the match that everybody wanted to see. That's the match everybody was ready for. And AEW did everything in their possible, if they possibly can, to hold out hope that the fans can come back. Unfortunately, you can only wait for so long before you don't know when the fans are coming. Now, they have fans coming to AEW, but it's obviously 10%, 20%. Alex would know this better than me. It's the amount of capacity that they're having. When you watch something like that and you're seeing what these fans are missing out on, do you think this really hurts the business, or this can only grow it more because fans want more when it comes back, but we're going to be more appreciative as fans of the product, no matter which company it is?
Listen, at the end of the day, I'm not a big AEW guy. I'm loyal to WWE to the bone. It's really hard for me to get me away. And there's a lot of stuff that WWE has done, like personal stuff that would get me to stop watching. But ever since, I like to say pro wrestling saved my life, because it was my entertainment as a kid. I've been watching since I was 6, and I'm 34. So that goes to show you my wrestling history, But I think I found it more appreciative because as I got older, over the last few years, I've gotten the habit of going to a show every single year, whether it's at Barclays. Like, I used to do the Barclays shows right after SummerSlam. They used to have the Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. I would always go. And I miss, and I'm a big sports guy. I love going to my sporting events and yelling my ass off to the point where I lose my voice. I can't do that. I haven't been able to do that in almost a year now. So or even getting together with my friends and watching a pay-per-view, you're kind of nervous about, who you're hanging around, if they're COVID free or not. The last thing I did was with my group of friends at wrestling, I had a Royal Rumble party. I invited the guys over. We watched Drew McIntyre win back in January, So I think it makes us more. For me personally, it makes me more appreciative of it because I can't enjoy going to an event anymore like I would used to, or hearing the crowd chants, or seeing the signs, or seeing the little kid, or sitting next to a kid whose first wrestling event and he has his Cena T-shirt on. My last live event, I went to a house show at MSG in 2019. I took my my father-in-law. He's never been to a wrestling event, and he loves John Cena. And it was his first event, and we went, and he loved it. So I think I've become more appreciative of seeing it live. And again, I think we've been robbed a little bit. It hurts because these guys are putting on great quality matches and great content, and we're watching it from home. And yes, they know we're home, but you feed off of the crowd, man. Just imagine Rock and Hogan. Remember Rock and Hogan from WrestleMania 18? Just imagine that. Yeah, just imagine that with no fans. The first 5 minutes or 10 minutes of that match is just them staring at
the fans.
So I think out of everything, out of all sports or events, pro wrestling fans got robbed the most.
Are you an NXT guy though?
Not really, no. I'll be honest with you, because there's so much wrestling content I can watch in a week.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover in like a week.
I try my best, I'll tell you this: I DVR it, but then by the time my DVR gets full of it, I don't even tune into it. So I do my Raw, I do my SmackDown, and I'll do AEW because it's a different brand. So I'll catch up on it. I haven't watched AEW this week.
It's a very different brand than what we're used to.
Yeah, it is.
But I do catch up because my contributors. Special shout out to the Hit List Pro Wrestling contributors. We have two guys. We actually started doing this show called AEW Injection. On Fridays, we release a review for AEW. They're very proactive in AEW, so for me to gain conversation and keep up with them, I tune in. I may have it on, and I'm being to see what's going on with the storyline. So right now, I kind of like the MJF and Jericho, him joining the Inner Circle kind of thing, and I'm just waiting for the turn. I'm waiting for who's going to turn first.
You're waiting to see who stabs the one another in the back.
It's too good to be true. Nothing's gonna happen. I don't know if it's gonna be Sammy or one of his men are gonna just give into it. But to be like I said, Raw and SmackDown would honestly take up most of my time.
All right, Alex, you have anything you want to ask Carl? I know you've got a few things you wanted to ask him.
So, Carl, I wanted to ask you about The Undertaker. When was the first time you saw Undertaker live, if you ever got to see him live?
Oh, I would say, man, if I had to think about it, I think it was WrestleMania 26.
Hold on, does this make you feel old?
A little bit, yeah, because I had to think about it, because I've been to so many events. I have to take it back. Was it WrestleMania 26? No, I think it was a Monday Night Raw in 2009. I took my brother to. To be honest with you, I can't even remember because I've been to events. But the most memorable one would probably be I was at 26 when he fought Shawn, which was Shawn's last match. And then I had the privilege of I saw him at 26, 27, 28, and 29. So yeah, if I had to pick my first time seeing him live, maybe it was a 2009. No, I'm lying again. I'm sorry. I've been to so many events. I'm sorry, guys. I was at Royal Rumble 2008 at MSG. I saw.
You don't even want to know how many. Dude, I was a WCW guy as a kid.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you
have any matches I went to at the Coliseum?
I went to. I've been to house shows, but I think if I had to remember, the first time I saw Taker probably was 2008 Rumble. If I had to remember,
that's
because
that's way back.
Remember, him and Shawn closed out. I think Rumble 2007, and then they started Rumble 2008. And he was, I think he was number 1 and Shawn was 2, and they started it out.
So you traveled for these events, Carl. You traveled for them. You went out and you were.
Yeah. Some of the events, luckily enough, I was part of this other pro wrestling podcast called the Pro Wrestling Spotlight. I don't know if you guys have seen them on the web, but I was part of that show for a while back in 2009, 10. And a friend of mine, old friend of mine, he had a ticket to WrestleMania 26 for his birthday. He was going to go to Arizona. It was going to be his first WrestleMania trip. And he had an extra ticket because someone bailed. And he was just trying to get the ticket for somebody to go. He's like, bro, can you make it? I'm like, listen, I got to go to work. I can't do it. He's like, all you got to do is just pay for the flight. Everything is covered. Just So I'm like, all right, I'm going to WrestleMania 26, and that's how I ended up at WrestleMania 26.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think about it from that year that you mentioned up until now, and now that he's going away for a little while. Because I saw my first time seeing The Undertaker was at WrestleMania 33 with my friend, and it's a once in a lifetime opportunity, and not many people get to see The Undertaker live, and for me that was truly special.
Yeah, 26 I saw him. Then the same group of guys said, you know what, we're gonna do 27, and I'm like, okay, we're gonna do 27 now. So we went to Georgia to do 27. Then they stopped doing it.
Don't remember that one. That one sucked.
Oh,
29 too. That one sucked.
Yeah, but you know what? 28, I said, you know what? Let me keep my WrestleMania train going for as long as I could. You know, I was like, you know what? Let me just I want to do 5 and I'll be done. That's it. I'll be done. So I did 20. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go on my own, and I did 28. And then 29 was in my backyard. It was in New York, so I had to do 29. And I was supposed to go to 30 to finish out my 5 Manias. And then I'm a teacher, so they asked me to go on a Disney trip with my high school kids. And I'm like, I can't turn down the kids. I can't turn down a Disney trip. And I ended up not going to 30. And knowing what happened at 30, that eats me today.
Yeah, that eats everybody today.
The one you missed.
And you know what's funny about it? There's a funny story. There's always a funny story, right? So I'm literally chaperoning because I was watching kids on Disney. So they put me at a post. Like, we're at the hotel, and I'm watching the kids in the pool, and us teachers had to rotate. So this is when the network first came out that year. It was 2014, and I was like, luckily I was able to get it on my phone. So I'm sitting there at my post, making sure, watching the kids, and I'm literally watching Brock and Taker. And then next thing you know, Taker loses, and I'm just like, holy shit. I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm just like, that's insane. But then all the other teachers are looking at me. They're like, is everything okay? Did someone just die?
Yeah,
I'm
right,
like,
somebody
no,
just
I was
died.
like, no, what happened?
Yeah, somebody died. My childhood just died.
Yeah, and my mouth is just like this the whole time. And then other kids, like high school kids who were wrestling fans, they're like, Mr. C, did you hear Undertaker just lost? I'm like, yeah, it probably was a mistake. And they come to find out.
Yeah, right.
But, yeah,
It's like the shocked guy that you see.
Undertaker holds a special place in my heart, man, because he's the reason I started watching wrestling. You know, I was 6 years old flipping channels, and then I saw a guy put somebody else in a body bag. And I was just like,
oh, yeah.
I was
That
like,
was
what
when
is
he first did. Yeah, what was it? It was on the main event show.
Yeah, the main event.
Prime time.
Yeah. So a lot of times in his earlier matches, like his squash matches, he would just do the tombstone, and then he'd put them in the body. Like Paul Bear would give him the body bag, and he'd put them in the body bag. And then, like I said, I was just flipping channels as a little kid, and I'm like, what is this? I'm just like, this is really cool. Like, a guy's putting somebody in the body bag, and I've been hooked since. So for that, I have him and Sean as like my, like, it's like 1A, 1B. Like, I really
for your favorite. So,
Yeah, for me, my favorites are like The Undertaker, John Cena, The Rock, Stone Cold, Mankind, all these legendary wrestlers from the 90s, people I didn't get to see growing up. So the only way I could watch that was on the WWE Network and go back and watch the old specials, and that's how I got into the Attitude Era.
See, growing up, I was a WCW guy growing up. I was not a WWE guy. So my guy was Sting. So to me, it was always Sting. If you really, so Carl, you said 25 for first saw Taker. Alex, you said 33. I got a good one for you. When I first saw Taker live, ready? WrestleMania 20 at Madison Square Garden.
Wow. Against Kane. Wow, that's great.
When I was in 7th grade, my dad gave me tickets for the holidays. In 7th grade, went to MSG WrestleMania 20. We're not allowed to talk about it because Chris Benoit was on the card, but it is, you know, it is what it is. But that was the first time I saw Taker live coming back with Paul Bear against Kane. And, you know, it's funny is people
always you were 13, right?
13. I was 13. I was in 7th grade when I saw that. John Cena was the opening match.
Yeah, against Big Show.
Against Big Show. It was insane. You know, you had Christian versus Chris Jericho in the mid-card. You had The Rock and Sock Connection versus Evolution. I mean, you look back, but, you know, and I will say this, 29 was awful. I was at 29. WrestleMania 29 sucked.
Yeah, 29 was the worst.
So you've done 2 Manias, right?
3. 20, 29, and
Which one was the one that we had in New York recently? What number was that?
Kofi, that's 35, I think.
That's 35.
I was supposed to go to Tampa this past year. That kicked bucket. Then I was supposed to go to LA next year. That kicked bucket. So I said, you know what? I said, guys. And now my friend is trying to get me to go back to Tampa. Want to do it in Tampa. Because if there's a vaccine, I said, bro. And I know Alex, you live in Florida. I'm going to say it, bro. I said, I'm not going near Florida till they get their shit together, man. You know, I'm not going. I don't care what they do at Raymond James Stadium. Let me tell you something. I don't care anybody says. Vince McMahon. Alex, you know this, and Carl, you know this about Vince. They will fill that place if they are allowed to. Vince will fill that place.
Yeah, he will.
There's COVID or not, he'll do it. Because money to him is the most important thing. He doesn't care. People will go. People will flock. They'll come and see it. You know what I mean? It's not like the Super Bowl where they're doing these pod things. I don't know what those are about, but you know, I mean, that's something we could talk about.
I do want to ask one more question before we finish up and go to the next segment. And Mike, this is another question for Carl. What do you think about Shotzi Blackheart? Have you seen a lot of her in action, and have you seen her compete a lot? Because she's one of my favorites to watch on NXT. She's really good, and I enjoy seeing her compete against Candice LeRae, and I love the angle that they have her in. And I think that's really gonna help her down the road and give her momentum towards a championship run.
To be honest with you, I have not. I got to do a better job of. I know everyone gets on me. I got to watch NXT. It's just like I said. It's just finding time to, with everything going on and working and hit list, and I'm like, I get wrestled out after 3 hours of Raw on Mondays, and I need a break until Friday. Yeah. So, if I need to, maybe I just need to watch NXT. I could just never get into it, but that's one of the things I regret not being able to get into, because when I see these guys get called up, yeah. When I see these guys get called up, I'm like, man, I wish I had the opportunity to see them in the developmental. So that's on me. I really got to do a better job.
Yeah, and Shotzi Blackheart, the funny thing about her is one of the guys I used to work with over at ACW, his name's Trevin Adams. He's the ambassador for WWN. He used to run Evolve and Evolve when that was around. And I saw an old clip that one of my friends posted on Facebook, Stephen Kai Douglas, who's a referee for them. And it was a clip of Shotzi Blackheart and some other wrestler, and it was really good. I remember seeing this promo live, and it was really good. What they had set up was Shotzi was in an argument with another women's wrestler, and then it broke down, and the locker room came back and tried to split it up. And it was one of those things that really caught my eye and really got my attention and got me glued on Shotzi Blackheart. Was that the first promo that I saw her in? Was that promo there?
Carl, before we let you go, we gotta do one little segment with you, Alex. I think you know what segment we have to do with him. You gotta let Carl do a finishing move. So our finishing move is at the end of the show. Usually we pick a topic we haven't discussed, haven't talked about, so that you want to bring up really quick about what's going on in the wrestling world. So what is your finishing move if you had to pick one that's going on in wrestling right now?
To be honest with you, okay, this is one that people don't really talk about, but I guess it's a bad rap. I feel like the race card in wrestling, especially in WWE, I think it's getting a little bit redundant, and it's clearly obvious. Why are the black tag teams fighting the black tag teams? Why were the Hurt Business feuding with just minorities? So like I feel like that's one of those things where it's like, when the Hurt Business became a thing, they were spending time feuding with Apollo Crews and Cedric Alexander. They were feuding with Angel Garza and who's the other guy that was with them?
Andrade,
yeah. I felt like the minorities are only feuding with the minorities. Why is that? Even R-Truth with Akira Tozawa. Why is that? Why is it only the minorities only feuding with the minorities? It should be all conclusive that everyone feuds with everyone. So I don't know if he's trying to make the black wrestler stand out more than other people, but it's something that people should take a look at, and it shouldn't be that black wrestlers only feud with black wrestlers. It should be white wrestlers feud with black wrestlers. It should be, a mixture of all. So I think that's something that I've been paying close attention to over the last year, and has been an issue for me. So, that's my finishing move.
Carl, before I let you go, tell everybody your social media, your show, how they can find you, everything like that.
Oh, please make sure you check out the Sports Hit List by the fans and for the fans. Thank you for everyone for watching our show. Thank you guys for the big shout out. I heard your intro today. It means a lot. Truly appreciative and to hear you guys.
Your show's phenomenal, man. Your show's phenomenal. If you haven't checked it out, it's great stuff. And your videos that you do and you build and you make is awesome stuff. I love when we get in the group chats, man.
Thank you. So for those who don't know, you can check us out. Sundays we have an NFL kickoff show that launches at 12:15. Wednesday is our primary show at 4 o'clock live. Going into next year, we may be getting another something else that works along with the Sports Hit List. We have a special show coming this Thursday for Thanksgiving, football tailored, that's coming too. And just stay tuned for our content. Just log on, like, share, comment, subscribe. Just Google the Sports Hit List. We're on Instagram, Sports HL. We have a YouTube channel, Sports Hit List. Facebook, the Sports Hit List. We also have a wrestling group, the Sports Hit List there too. So we're pretty much everywhere on digital platforms where people can check us out. So, and you could check us out on the Worldwide Sports. Special shout out to Errol Marks. He's done a great job in marketing and getting and recruiting us to his platform. So, thank you to him, and thank you to my team, all of my contributors, all the guys I work with back over at the Sports Hit List. I couldn't do it without them and their contributions. So, thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, Carl. Thank you so much for joining us. Listen, Alex and I, we got to hop on your show at some point, and we got to wrestling.
You get me on for sports, man. You ever see Errol and I argue on sports? It's the funniest thing.
It really is.
Sure, absolutely. Listen, if you guys ever need me to come back again, we talk some more stuff. I know our season's coming up because we got Rumble coming up soon.
Yes.
We got, those are things we look forward to.
Yeah, we got all the big pay-per-views coming up.
Yeah. So if you guys need a helping hand, I'm sure I'll have you guys on to come talk some stuff with us too. Absolutely.
Thanks, Carl.
Thank you, Carl.
Have a great rest of your day, man.
All right, man. Thank you so much. You guys
be good, man. Take care. All right, that was Carl Coolidge over on the Sports Hit List. You could check his show out, as he said. Usually, I believe it's on every Wednesday. Good stuff, Alex. He was so informative with that.
Yeah, he really was.
I had no idea. So I've talked to Carl on the side in the past, but I had no idea he had been to that. Dude, he puts my WrestleMania visits to shame. He's been to like 5 in a row or whatever. The one he didn't go to, Undertaker lost. But listen, you gotta check out Carl's show, The Hit List. So when I'm at work, my day usually ends, and I don't have meetings till like 4:30. So when on my breaks, I actually listen to their show, and I'm always amazed at what they do, what they talk about, how everything is done, and it's good stuff. He's very informative. His team is great. So check out his show. His videos are amazing. You see them in the group chat all the time, Alex. They're good stuff. And we got to collaborate more with him and his show with the big pay-per-views for sure. But that was good. The Google teams worked. The echoing was okay.
Yeah.
You get used to it after a while. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, all right. So I know we're over the time, but that's because we started late today. So let's do a quick rundown of New Japan for the next, I guess, 2 or 3 minutes. What are you liking about where they're going with Wrestle Kingdom so far, Alex? Are you happy with it? Are you like, what is going on here? Like, what are your thoughts with Jay White now holding the briefcase and everything like that?
So I actually have the box score in front of me, and the current standings for the World Tag League, and beautiful. Everybody, every tag team is at 4 right now. So Tai Chi and Zack Sabre Jr. 4, Evil and Yujiro Takahashi 4. Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano 4, Great-O-Khan and Jeff Cobb 4, Juice Robinson and David Finlay are at 4, Tama Tonga and Tanga Loa at 4.
Do you like Tama Tonga's haircut?
I like his new style. I like what he's applied there.
I like it. It was good.
Shingo Takagi and Sonata at 4, and Hiroki Goto and Yoshihashi at 2. Hiroshi Tanahashi and Toa Henare 0, and Bad Luck Fale and Chase Owens 0.
Shocker. What a shocker. They're in last. Not. I like where they're going with this. Look, we're getting on Alex and I are definitely going to get more into New Japan because in a couple of weeks, Wrestle Kingdom is coming up.
Oh yeah, Wrestle Kingdom's approaching very fast.
It's on a weeknight, both nights, but that's because they do it on the same day every year, but they do it every freaking year on the same day, and they decided, hey, let's do it on a Monday and Tuesday this year, so it is what it is. But,
I'm wondering who's going to be in the World Tag League final. I feel like it's going to come down to Tai Chi and Zack Sabre Jr. against Tama Tonga and Tangaloa.
I would see that. I could see that, because the thing is, I know New Japan doesn't really believe in the whole heel versus heel, face versus heel kind of stuff. They don't really believe in that, so I could see them going down that route. But I like when New Japan's headed. Jay White will wrestle the second night. Naito giving Ibushi the first night championship opportunity. Big fan of that. I could definitely see Evil going up against Jay White at some point. You never know. And then, of course, Kenta with his U.S. Championship opportunity, which it seems like he defends it every single week. He's defending that briefcase.
Yeah, he's...
it's like he won it. You don't have to keep defending it, but whatever. All right, Alex.
And then for the Best of Super Junior tournament, I feel like Hiromu Takahashi is going to be the one to win that.
I agree with you. I think it is going to be Hiromu to get the opportunity. I'm very excited for Okada Ospreay. I think that's the match that's going to steal the whole weekend. You put those two, it's going to be. I think Meltzer's going to give it 6 stars, like he's done in the past for certain matches. And look, big stage, why not? All right, Alex, let's get to our finishing move, man. It is that time. First, I'll give a big shout out to Carl today for joining us. Loved it. Alex. Carl brought a very good finishing move, I felt, and he hit on a lot of points. I thought it was.
Yeah, he really did.
You have a tough follow, and then after you, I have an even tougher follow. So go for it.
So my finishing move is actually I bought the new PW Insider magazine, the Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
PS5, sorry, I thought you were gonna say PS5.
No, I bought the new Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine with the top women's 100. And the one of the interesting things I found in this magazine is Io Shirai's at number 9, and that's a really, really big accomplishment. It would have been good to see her at number 4 or 5.
She should be top 5.
Yeah, she should be top 5. I don't know why she isn't.
That's so low. 9.
Yeah, I don't know why she's at 9. I would rather.
They had ahead of her.
I know they had Sasha Banks and Bayley ahead of her.
There's no way that. Listen, Bayley. There's no way Sasha and Bayley are better than Io.
No, there's no way.
There's no way. Ugh, that made me sick. All right, now I feel nauseous.
But yeah, this magazine is really cool because they have a lot of different articles in there. They got articles on upcoming wrestlers like Top Flight and other things in there that are pretty interesting. And then they have an article on Bayley and how she's come so far in her journey, her wrestling journey. It's called the Hot Seat. It's usually a page where they dedicate a whole page to the top women's wrestler, and it's a really good read. So I highly recommend checking it out.
Awesome, good stuff, Alex. Love it. So my finishing move is The Undertaker really retiring tomorrow? Now I will say this. The network is promoting the snot out of it because they have specials about him literally every day. If you did not, and I mentioned it earlier in the show, if you did not check out the special Paul Bear thing, which I know, Alex, you have the network, so if you haven't checked out the Paul Bear documentary, you have to. It's really good. It's called The Mortician because that's what Paul Bear was. He was a mortician. I heard the Undertaker Kane sit-down interview was really good too, so I have to check that out later. But it's college football Saturday for me, so it's going to be kind of hard.
Yeah.
Maybe tonight, probably if the game sucks, I'll probably turn it on, which is a real possibility. But it was really, like I said, I hope this is not it for him. Because we as the fans deserve to chant his name one more time and for him to come and wrestle one more time. I think we all deserve that. And it would be very unfortunate for him to not be able to go out the way he wanted to. But again, we don't know when all this is going to end. You're seeing the vaccines possibly being distributed really soon. So that's a good sign and a turning point in this country. So that's a nice thing. So, like I said, we will see where all of this goes. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, I think this was an excellent show today. I want to thank Carl again, Kulaj, for helping us out on the Sports Hit List. And again, download our app, ladies and gentlemen. If you have an iPhone, go to the Apple Store, WWSRN. Android, go to the Google Play Store and type in Worldwide Sports. Check out our new website, worldwidesportsradio.com. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Periscope. We're on every single social media platform. Alex, how can the fans get in touch with us, and how can they reach out to us?
So you can reach out to me and Josh. My Twitter is @ShowSlows. Josh's Twitter is @JoshSilverberg. And make sure to follow the Worldwide Sports Radio Network on Twitter @WWSRN Radio. And also follow Off the Mat on Twitter @WWSRN, Off the Mat WWSRN. Again, that's Off the Mat WWSRN. And feel free to leave comments and send us messages on Twitter and Facebook. We really want to hear from you and hear your thoughts and opinions on our topics and discussions for each show that we do.
Exactly. Excellent point there, Alex. So, thank you to the fans. Alex, have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Take care. To the fans out there, listen, COVID's going up again. All right, so just be careful, stay safe, wear a mask. Also, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Enjoy the holidays to all of our fans out there. Please be careful with the family members and the visits and everything like that. Alex, I know I won't see you before Thursday, so a happy Thanksgiving to you, my friend, and to your family.
Thank you.
Enjoy it, and we will talk to everybody next week. Take care. Have a great rest of your week. This is Off the Mat on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. For Alex Slows, I'm Josh Silver. Take care. Stay safe. Have a great rest of your weekend.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.